Welcome to the eighth episode of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Industrial Metaverse. Today with a great guest, Thomas Bernhard, my colleague from SyncTwin. Today we're going to talk about kickstarting your journey in the Industrial Metaverse. If you don't have anything with SyncTwin and the tools of SyncTwin. So my partner in crime, Thomas, welcome again. Tell us a little bit something about yourself.
Yes, hello everybody. I think now I'm a colleague of Michael, as he said. Now I think I'm already 2 years into the SyncTwin project, and yeah, together we developed a SyncTwin app to make it for many people easier to create digital twins. And yeah, I think later I'm going to show you a little bit about the app itself. And yeah, now I give it to you.
Great. Thank you for being here. And also I have to add, Thomas is the AI expert. If I need anything related to AI, I talk to him. So great to have you here. Talking of AI, our last episode was before the GTC, the GTC conference of NVIDIA. We've been there, and we've got a little video of it. Maybe we can show it. We presented there the first time the SyncTwin app. Here you see it was a great session. It was also great to meet all the people involved in Omniverse and NVIDIans. So also Uwe, hi in the chat, you're here as well. So yeah, that was great, and we had a chance to present the SyncTwin app and our efforts. Here also Jens from Ascon, another great German startup. And yeah, I mean, GTC was great to see the adoption of Omniverse and the OpenUSD based workflow. So as you all might know, Siemens was showing like this big ship visualization. We had like Amazon, Continental, and all the big players like presented their efforts, and it was also great to see the adoption, but also like the OpenUSD based workflow, and so Aaron Luke got also great insights about that, and some thing I'd like to add, because you always see the nice graphics, but it's just the tip of the iceberg, because the actual great thing is the OpenUSD structure and all the assets based on OpenUSD. And so we presented there and launched our SyncTwin app. And to give you a little insight, I'd like to re-show our video where we presented like the vision where we want to go to it, also with the AI assistant. And yeah, let's have a look.
Hi, I'm Lucy, your digital twin AI companion. The SyncTwin app, powered by NVIDIA Omniverse and OpenUSD, is your key to next-level digital twins like that one. Simply drag and drop your PowerPoint floor plan and Excel data into the app and see how your factory evolves. Need something specific? Just ask. For example, Lucy, create a pallet rack. Or, please add forklifts and loading units. Optimize your processes with tools like NVIDIA cuOpt, streamlining operations to deliver real value from your digital twin, to make smarter and more efficient decisions. Or dive into VR and become one with your factory, to understand and engage with your operations on a whole new level. Do you like to know more about what I can do for you? Connect with us on LinkedIn, Discord, our website or download the app on our store and get started. Together.
Yeah, I still like it a lot. So, and I might add, this whole video was done in Omniverse, and actually the guy who did it was Thomas. So Thomas, could you tell a little about what components did you use? How did you do it?
Yes, sure. I mean, everything we built is on Omniverse. So the SyncTwin app is completely built on top of Omniverse, and so we thought maybe just to video everything in Omniverse. And for example, Lucy, the eye companion, which I created, was done in Omniverse audio to face. So it's basically a program where you can convert MP3 to movement of a face. And yeah, the whole creation process of the digital twin was some stuff with the app itself to create some networks, for example, or the animations where the what's falling down is just some timelines and event keys when something should come down, and also the camera movement was automated. And yeah, at the end, I also put a VR headset on my head and jump into it, and yeah, made a screen record for that. And so we were able to create this video for our vision, and basically everything was done in NVIDIA Omniverse. So yeah.
Super cool, yeah. And this, I think, in the QR part with this network, these glow effects, that's basically some post processing, right?
Yes, it's some post processing. You can, I think it was some bloom and some fog, and then it looks like this glowing effect.
Yeah, and everything in Omniverse, so that's pretty cool, I'd say. But today we talk about SyncTwin and the SyncTwin app, and so we thought we show you a little how you actually use it and get started, because as I said, as we've seen the big players in GTC, I mean they have their whole IT department for digital twins and put it all together. But what does a supplier or some smaller enterprise do? How to start if I don't have anything, right? And so this is why we created the SyncTwin app, where you just start with a PowerPoint and some Excel files. And Thomas we show now how we actually do it. Yeah, and I'd like to have Thomas share his screen. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes, sure. So as Michael said, the idea was that we use PowerPoint and Excel to create digital twin because everybody has it and everybody uses it. So I was thinking of just making a super simple example like this one, where you can see the floor plan in the background, and where you have the pallet rack generated with our pallet rack generator, adding some forklifts as 3D models, and some loading units and transport networks. So the idea is that we have different scenarios, and you have to put the files inside. And now I'm going to show you how a PowerPoint could look like. So
that what we just have seen was the SyncTwin app. It's an Omniverse kit extension, so you can just download it from our web store and add it to your Omniverse Create, for example.
Yes. Yeah. Now here in this PowerPoint, all you have to do is basically use your floor plan, which is PNG or PDF, load it into PowerPoint, and then draw some forms on top of it, what we can understand in our software. So it's a mixture of using forms and giving some commands down there. And with at SyncTwin, you tell software, okay, now we want to communicate with our SyncTwin app. And yes, for example, if you put this floor plan in the background and at the stations, these different stations are added into the scene. Then, for example, if you want to add a 3D model like the forklift, just add a rectangle on the place, on the spot where you want it, and tell the location where you have it. It's in the nucleus, which is the base storage, data storage for Omniverse. And yeah, then you tell where it should be. And this, for example. And
it's basically, if I may add, Thomas, you see this SyncTwin app as your assistant, and you basically talk to the assistant with your PowerPoint. So you tell this here and that here. So and we'll see more of that later on as well. Yeah.
Yes, and we are always trying to think about what would be the easiest way to actually get things into this USD format and into Omniverse itself. For example, to create a network, all you have to do is take rectangles, put them onto the slide, and say, okay, it's going to be a transport network, and you can also add stop points with these circles. And with this, you generate these transport networks, which can later be used as data for example, routing optimization.
Like Cube, for example.
Yes, with NVIDIA Cube, for example. Further thing is creating pallet racks, like shelf. You just say have again a rectangle for the place where it should stay, and tell it the name, and give the command. Okay, we want to have a shelf. A pallet rack on the shelf, rectangle, and fill in all these parameters. And with these parameters, the shelf would be generated.
Like the amount of levels or the height, these kind of things, right?
Yes. So with the PowerPoint, you do a lot of placement of stuff and where something should be and should be located. But you can also add Excel files into the Omniverse app. Just load it here. The Excel files look like this for loading use, and like parts and containers. It's really simple data. We also have this example data in our tutorials if somebody's interested. Then you can load this information inside the Omniverse app. You can have also look for the containers, for example, like here, and have a look at the different models and your data.
And the idea is to get the data in from what source you ever may have and transform it into USD assets. So what we see here is basically the information about like two containers, but also like it uses template elements from Omniverse to create the visualization on top of it. So we see this is a pallet, this is a container, and so everything. So both is basically in USD asset form. We can get the information about the container type or size, or and the graphical representation. That's and we can combine this furthermore.
Yes, and the same is also for loading units. It's like a combination of these different containers we have here. These are, for example, stackings of different containers, or container on a pallet rack, or pallet racks stacked on top of each other, like here. And basically you can then take these different stacks and put it also onto this floor plan, like we did here. I did it in the PowerPoint. On the slide, I tell him I have this row and say there's a buffer, and I gave him the location for the created matrix stack, and tell him how many rows there should be. And so I I also can. The next step would be that I'm going to show you how the AI assistant work. So
Thomas, maybe one thing, we have a question in the chat about if that's also possible with other sources of information. Sure, we put together here a digital twin pipeline, basically consisting of sources being transformed into USD components and being consumed by other services in the Omniverse, or applications in the Omniverse ecosystem. So for us, was just the idea, the most simple start to use what is there on every basically PC, that's Office files. But also you have seen there are different domains. Topology, as you have asked, Amar, is basically just one element, and this you can pull it from somewhere else as well if you have a system database or whatever. And as soon as you have created an OpenUSD component with the respective metadata, I'll show in my part, then you can use it. So this is just to get started and to really, like, if you have nothing, you probably have an Excel and a PowerPoint or a Visio file. We also use, and Thomas, and yeah.
So yeah, the next thing what I would like to show you is the SyncTwin AI assistant. So we thought of it would be a good idea to also use AI to make it even more simple to create digital twins, or talk to a digital twin, for example, for some analytic stuff. And a really simple example would be to count, for example, these containers, how many there are in this scene, because it could be many, and so we don't have to count them. We just use an assistant and ask him how many containers are there. He called the function, the assistant himself, and he counted the containers. When I now change them, for example, I make, instead of 7 rows, I make 9 rows. I save the file, go back and make a refresh for the scenario.
And here you see it's a pipeline. So whenever the source changes, everything derived from it changes as well if you recreate it. So
yes, and when I ask him again, I also can tell him something different. So it's not always the same string, so it understands the context of the question. Then it's going to tell you that there are now 36 containers in the scene.
And this is possible because we not only have the graphical representation, but also the semantics. So a container knows it's a container, and the AI by traversing the scene can basically look for the right elements. And this is so this is an enabler for future AI assistants as well. So yeah. Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, sure.
Now that we have created our initial, and we have to look a little on the time, and time just flies, and when you talk about interesting things, we want to now show how do we, if we have an expert tool like ipolog, how do we get information out of our created Omniverse scene in OpenUSD and go from there. So now you see my screen, awesome, and I've got also created like a scenario, same ground floor. I've added some resources like this welding robots. You see the racks, but now see here's the PowerPoint as well, right? And the interesting part here, I've also have these points of interest, A, B, C, shell. These are elements in PowerPoint which also reflect some scene element, because and I've created this. So here in topology, I've got the points of interest as USD elements, and our point A, for example, is here an X form. But it has also metadata, because the most important thing is here this schema attribute, and by adding this, it's all automatically added. We know it's a point of interest, right? Maybe one question was the foundation model of the AI agent built. We've got maybe Thomas, you can quickly answer.
Yes, sure. It's we can decide if it's going to be a local model like Mistral 7V, for example, on your computer, or OpenAI GPT-4. But we're also using some smaller models to make the decision process faster of what to use.
Yeah. But yeah, so far, by continuing, now I'm keep in mind the points of interest, right? So now I'm changing to ipolog, and say in ipolog I don't have anything yet. As well, some colleague has already pushed the data into the nucleus, this initial layout, and I'm starting with an empty scenario, as you see here, and here we've got a connector to Omniverse using the Omniverse ipolog connector, which is this. In an episode before, I already showed how to push data from ipolog to the Omniverse, but here's the other way around. I didn't show that yet. So we can push things and we can pull in things from Omniverse. So I add a geolink, and what we have basically here is a selection of the topology. So here I know that it's in our new Ulm location, the scenario I'm interested in, but I could also pull in some Leonberg, the other facilities from another location. So here I'm using, I'm telling it to use this. And also what we can do now, we can go into the Omniverse, and we had some services creating overviews for this connection. So if I go to bounds, you see it has created a 2D map of my scenario. You have in mind, here's the robot station, here's the truck, and now I can tell what I'm interested in, and maybe say, okay, I want just this area, but we are interested in everything, and we've got several possibilities to pull in content, but today I just want to pull in the points of interest, because this is always a problem if you want to connect these different systems. What are the reference points, right? And so I just do a pull, and it has now gone to the Omniverse scene and pulled in the points of interest. So here is one, right? The shell. If we look into our text editor, we've got A, B, C, D. It's point of interest, and we've got basically the coordinates as well. So now we can open the layout editor, right? Let's put that aside, maybe here. And as you see, I do a view all. I've got my points of interest here ready to be used, right? And so I'm adding a new area, like a material area, my material, whatever, right? So create, and let's put it here. And so now I know, yeah, it's basically at this point of interest C. Let's maybe use move it as well and dock it here maybe. Yeah. So and now I've done my initial area planning, right, in ipolog. So I can now use the publish link to push it back, and so I just have to tell again which zone. It's Neu-Ulm, right? So and for this I have several other possibilities to push it into a certain time frame or something, a certain variant. I don't go into that in deep, but we see we've got one area. We push it, right? So and now we pushed our area back into Omniverse. So we see here basically the areas and our points of interest. So let's go back to our scenario. And here is a great thing of OpenUSD, the layering. You know, we can add now our ipolog layer, and this can be done like automatically, or it depends a little on your environment. So, but this is the USD file we have created with our Omniverse connector. And if I add this as a layer, it's basically put on top of the other things, right? And what we see here, we've got our ipolog area from the publish link, and it's basically my material area with the so you see it's basically from my example because it has the same error as well. And so this shows basically this whole loop of interaction between like an expert tool and like the other things on NVIDIA Omniverse. And yeah, this is basically what I wanted to show you guys. Maybe to wrap it up, Thomas. Can we show the? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's it. I think it's very like easy to work with the Omniverse and the OpenUSD things, but I think initially you have to get your head around a little, right, Thomas? Or what was your experience of getting to work with it?
Yes, sure. I mean, at the beginning it was a little bit different because OpenUSD is not a thing we use every day, but for me the analogy between that USD is like, or Omniverse or USD is like the layering in Photoshop, for example, for pictures, and it's the HTML for 3D worlds and stuff like that. That helped a lot to get head around OpenUSD. But just go and start, make a project in Omniverse. It's getting easier and easier to work with it. So yeah.
Yeah, you have to really say that the NVIDIA guys are putting a lot of effort in it to make it more accessible and work a lot on the documentation. You see that, so that's really great to also see, I guess. Yeah. So are there any other questions? I think we have answered all of them, right? Discussion on semantic labeling. There was, exactly. I think the semantics and really are the base to really have the meaning of the elements. That's kind of the core of everything. And so I think, with OpenUSD, you can both have the semantics and the nice representation in one environment. So that's great, and it's also interesting to see what still comes up with all that. It's a whole really fast developing thing. For this, I guess we're at the end of the time. Thank you, Thomas. It was really great to have you here and to show the SyncTwin app.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I think we'll see a lot from you in the future as well. I'd like to also have a mention of the next NVIDIA webinar. It's on the 11th of this month by NVIDIA. We show the the link. It's on industrial digitalization, and several startups from the NVIDIA Inception program, which we are also part of, will present their efforts and their take on using NVIDIA tech. So welcome to join as well. Also, Thomas has put together a lot of different video tutorials on YouTube. And also it's there is a last minute question. How easy is live location data from forklifts? That's the nice thing of using this layering approach in OpenUSD, because once you have created the like, for example, your fleet of forklifts, it's in this USD tree basically, and you add this live layer on top of it. So you get basically the position of the forklift from the live layer, and it overrides basically the position it had from a static environment. So it's fairly easy if your address is, or if your structure is right, I'd say. Yeah. So any other last second questions? I guess not. So I'd also, as always, like to thank Bea and all our colleagues of ipolog and SyncTwin for helping out and making this possible. Really nice. See you at the next webinar then. And have a good day. Thank you, Thomas, again.